What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got an edition of Tales from the Fort. Tales from the Fort is where I go back and review classic movies that are considered part of the horror lexicon, and I either review stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever it may be. I've got several other things on this channel, TV series reviews. I've got reviews from recent movies that I've been doing. Go back on my channel for the last 3 or 4 days. I've been posting a lot of Shudder exclusive film reviews if you want to see those. But today, it's a Tales from the Fort episode, and I'm talking about 2010's Frozen. No, not that Frozen, not the one with Elsa and Anna and Olaf and the Disney characters. This Frozen is Adam Green's Frozen. I'm going to be giving spoilers in this review, so if you have not seen it and you want to, pause this video, go watch that and come back. I'm a huge fan of Adam Green's. Adam Green does a lot of comedy stuff. He does a lot of web series. You guys will know him from Holliston, his famous TV series, which is referenced in this movie. And of course, the Hatchet, now quadrilogy. There are 4 of them now with Victor Crowley. The 4 Hatchet films. I've seen the first 3 and I love those. And I love the Holliston series. Adam Green has become a very popular horror icon in the modern era, and Frozen is one of his ballyhooed films that I had never seen before. I recently just watched it, and I want to tell you I really enjoyed it. This 2010 thriller horror film, again, written and directed by Adam Green, starring Emma Bell, Shawn Ashmore, and Kevin Zegers. These 3 guys, again, getting into spoilers, these 3 characters, a guy, his girlfriend, and his best friend all go up to a ski lodge resort for a weekend of skiing. They convince the ski lift guy, they only get a few runs in. They convince the ski lift guy to let them go after dark for one more run. In the course of that one run, the power goes out. The company, I guess, forgets they're there. And it is a Sunday, and they don't open again until Friday. So it winds up being that these 3 characters get stuck in the dead of winter, up 100 feet in the air or whatever, on a ski lift, and with no power, and coyotes start to circle. So this is a trapped kind of a horror film. There are so many boxes ticked on why the tension was great in this movie. Obviously, the camera work was pretty good. You had a lot of beautiful shots of the slopes and the mountains, and the characters' reactions to one another. The girlfriend and the best friend didn't get along. They both were jealous, vying for the boyfriend's attention. So you got a lot of good reaction shots. You got a lot of good shots of the snow caps and all of the snowy tundra in this movie. But most of all, this thing was not only tense, but it was personally tense for me because of my fear of what would happen if this was realistic. And why I liked this movie so much was because this kind of horror is the kind of horror that stays with you because it is realistic. It captures my fear of heights because they're stuck up on this ski lift several feet in the air, so they can't just get down and go find help. The fear of being abandoned, being left alone with no help. They've got potentially 5 days with nobody coming to save them in the freezing cold. Dying via freezing to death is another thing that's kind of scary that I didn't know I was afraid of until now. And coyotes start to circle below them, so even if they were to get down, they wouldn't be able to survive the coyote attack. So there's peril on all levels in this thing, and this is the kind of film that goes for an hour and a half, so it gives you a lot of chance for character development. I complained in the past about films that had trapped scenarios like this and set up a good, tense, close environment, but didn't develop characters. This one did develop characters very well. Emma Bell was excellent in the lead role here as the girlfriend. Both Kevin Zegers and Shawn Ashmore played the characters well. The dialogue felt realistic. Everything flowed very quickly. This film was paced well with the obstacles. And you got a lot of the ins and outs of these characters. The 2 guys being lifelong childhood friends, going back into how they met each other. The guy and the girlfriend getting close to being married after being together for a year. The tension between the best friend and the girlfriend. They tell a couple stories about the best friend being the third wheel and him trying to fall in love and being burned in the past and falling for a new girl at the ski lodge. There's all these character weavings and backstories put into this thing that really give you a sense of sympathy and empathy for these characters as they go through their peril. So this is an hour and a half well spent. And again, the pacing is good because every time you think they're going to find a way out, There's a new obstacle thrown in their course. And the blood for this stuff with the coyotes and the fall is gruesome. You guys know Adam Green is great with his gore from Hatchet. The gore here is great as well. There's a really nasty leg sequence. I won't get into the particulars, but being somebody who's disabled with CP and having bad legs, I can't imagine the pain and the horror this one character went through with his legs. But it is a survival story of three characters trying to smartly make decisions to survive and somehow get out of this very rough predicament. So the tension, the acting, the scenery, the backstories, everything's powerful. The pacing is good. The characters have backstory. There is a resolution in the end, so it doesn't leave you hanging, so to speak. And everything about this movie is just very good, very realistic, very tense, and very well done by Adam Green. So, as a fan of his from Holliston and Hatchet, I am also quite a fan of 2010's Frozen. If you guys have seen Frozen in 2010, tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of it. What else would you guys like to see me review on the drive-in, where I go back and review a bunch of past films? So, you guys tell me in the comments, but until next time, this has not been the drive-in, it's been Tales from the Fort. And you guys tell me on the next Tales from the Fort what you want me to review. I will see you guys soon, guys. Stay scared, dim the lights, lock your doors, and as always, enjoy the movies.